Okay, this is the start of the 68 Camaro. A little late, a couple months late already, of course, as usual. Right now, though, what we want to get emphasis on is steering. It's hard to see. Way back in there, you'll see steering box. I think you can see it. It's kind of tough. Yeah, you see the top of it all shiny and new. I'll get another shot of it later. Lighting sucks, of course. There's the steering box. Too close. First issue. Hold on. Okay, I'll drag a little light in here. This is a GM power steering box. Came with a new rag joint. It's up there. You can see it if we don't get too dizzy. This was a manual steering car, 68 Camaro. First thing I've already found out, this spline is bigger. I read that somewhere, but I thought it was the length of the arm. Won't work. So, I got a Pitman. Here's the old steering box. Let's get a shot of that. Old manual steering, nice and greasy. Blow by on it. Here's what we're talking about, this area. I measured it with a gauge. You measure this one. Well, let's just measure the other one. We'll gauge it. Hang on. Just right at the tip. As you can see, if I'd sit still, you can see quite a bit bigger. Old manual, new power steering. Now that's not a old 69 or 68 Camaro power steering. Hang on a minute, let me get power steering. That's a brand new box, short gear ratio, modern. This thing is supposed to drive like a brand new one if your steering components are good. Now, we've got no steering components in here because I pulled them all out except for the tie rod ends. Right there's where the idler arm goes on. And I'm going to show you why. It's hard to get too close. There's the Pitman puller. This is the one off the Camaro. Now, I need this Pitman arm. It came off 69 upside down over there. That car is a power steering car. Front disc brakes. Not front disc brakes, sorry. Front drum brakes. But it was a power steering car. So, since I got two subframes, one off the 69 and one off the 74. 74 the power steering subframe. That's the one I want to use in the 69, so I don't want to take any parts off of it. But we are going to rob some parts off the 69 subframe. And the reason is because I need this big, this big Pitman arm, the big hole. Length I've measured exactly the same. So what I've done, instead of removing the Pitman arm off the cross member here, cross arm, whatever it's called, I'm experimenting right now. I'm going to see how hard this Pitman arm is to get off of this one. This one with the Camaro, and I don't know if you can see it in this video, but again, this is a power steering arm, and it's much, much beefier than the manual steering arm. Power steering can do so much more work. You've got to do it with the other one. You can see it's over a 1/4 inch thicker rod, way bigger. Since you got to do all the work with the manual, they don't have to be as beefy because it's got Armstrong power steering. This power steering, this stuff has to all be beefier. What I'm looking at, the guy who owned this car, don't know who it was, Georgia car. This is a Moog, a lot better than the factory arm. This original factory arm here on the 69, I think. As you can see, this is a lot meatier, a lot beefier. This is in real good shape. So what I want to do is take these arms off. This one I'm going to leave on. I want to use this steering arm, the beefy one. I want to use that idler arm, and I've got to use this pitman arm no matter what I do. It's the only one I got unless I go buy a new one. This one seems to be in real good shape. It's 95 bucks just for that little piece. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm basically just experimenting, see how these will come off. I don't know why I've got that on there. It's going to stay. I need to be doing this one. If I can get them off with the puller, that's what I'm going to do instead of beating on them. And if they'll pop off, we'll switch them out. Okay, there's your big car. Oh, one more thing. Power steering car. So, it's got to have a power steering pump. It's hard to see with that dumb light up there. I'm shining right in that light. There it is. There's my pump. I've taken that off the engine out of the 74 Nova. Power steering. I don't know where the one is out of 69. I may have never got it. I pulled that over. It mounted up to the water pump. And I made a bracket over there. I don't know if you can see it, that light shining through. I made another bracket over there to tighten the belt up. So let's get to work. Comes the rain.